You haven't overspent a single budget category in 3 years. You track every dollar before the month even starts. People in your life use your name as a compliment. Disciplined, they say, like it's something you were born with. So why does opening your banking app at 11 o'clock at night still feel like you're checking a security camera? This thing you're so proud of, it isn't structure, it's a slow leak. And you've completely normalized the damage. You've told yourself that if you just keep tightening the rules, if you just track more, save more, restrict a little harder, you will finally earn the right to breathe. But real discipline is a choice made from freedom. What you are running right now is a survival strategy, and you've been running it so long you forgot it has a cost. Think about yesterday. You were standing in an aisle, an ordinary store. You picked up something you wanted, nothing extravagant, nothing you'd even remember buying in a month. Your account has more than enough. You could buy 10 of them and your net worth wouldn't feel the difference. Your chest tightened. Your mind immediately sprinted to a future emergency that hasn't happened. A medical bill, a job loss, a number dropping below a line that exists only in your head. So you put it back on the shelf, walked away, and told yourself you were just being responsible. It wasn't responsibility. It was anxiety wearing your most respectable outfit.
You use math to self-soothe. You might not have said it that way before, but you know it's true. Every time life feels like it's slipping, a hard conversation, a week where nothing went the way it was supposed to, you open the spreadsheet. The numbers are clean. They don't argue back. They don't need anything from you. For exactly 6 minutes after you update your tracking app, your nervous system exhales. Something in your body says, "Safe. You are safe." And then the laptop closes. The screen goes dark, and the low-humming panic crawls right back into your shoulders. Because the spreadsheet never fixed the thing that needed fixing. It just gave your anxiety something professional to wear. There are rules you follow that you've never written down. That's how you know they're the real ones. You don't order the thing you actually want at a restaurant. You scan the menu for what's reasonable first, then you decide what you want from what's left. You feel a specific, quiet guilt when you spend money on something that doesn't count, something that's just for you, just for now, just because you wanted it. You've told yourself that's maturity, delayed gratification, the long game. But you've been playing the long game for so long that you can't actually picture what winning looks like. You keep moving the number, the amount that would make you feel okay, safe enough, allowed. It was $10,000 once, then $25,000, then 6 months of expenses, then a year. The number keeps growing. The feeling never comes. You declined something last year, something small, a trip, a dinner, a weekend that would have cost you a few $100s and given you something you can't put in a spreadsheet. You said you couldn't afford it. You could afford it. You chose not to afford it. There's a difference, and somewhere in you, you know that. The people in your life have started to notice. Not that you're careful with money. They've always known that. They've started to notice that you're not fully there, that there's a part of you that never fully arrives. Not at the dinner table, not on the vacation, not in the moment that's happening right now, because you're already calculating what it costs, what it might break, what the number will look like after. You are living your life in the future tense, always protecting something that hasn't been threatened.
This didn't start with money. You know that too. There was a time when uncertainty was dangerous, not just uncomfortable, dangerous. When the number in the account dropping meant something real, when you had to be the responsible one or nobody would be. You learned to survive by controlling the controllable, and money was the most controllable thing you had. So you got good at it, exceptionally good at it. And then the circumstances changed, but the strategy didn't. You kept running the survival code in a life that no longer needed surviving. You kept bracing for an impact that stopped coming years ago. And now the armor you built to protect yourself has become the thing that keeps you from feeling anything. Here's what financial hypervigilance actually takes from you. It takes your attention. Every moment that could have been fully present gets split. Half of you here, half of you running the numbers in the background. It takes you relationships, because the people around you can feel the tension. The way you go quiet when someone suggests something spontaneous. The way a number can ruin your entire mood for the rest of the day. It takes your trust in yourself, because when the anxious version of you makes every financial decision, you never find out if the calm version of you would choose. You never get to know if you'd be okay. You keep yourself under constant surveillance so you never have to find out if you can actually be trusted. That's the quiet part. That's the thing you don't say out loud. Being the disciplined one has become load-bearing. It's not just something you do, it's something you are. And you've built things on top of it. Your self-image, your sense of competence, the way other people look at you when money comes up. So what happens if you let go even slightly? What happens if you spend the money and it turns out fine? You'd have to update something much bigger than your budget. That's why this doesn't change just by knowing it. You can read every personal finance book. You can know intellectually that your savings rate is fine, that you are fine, that the number is fine. And then 11 o'clock rolls around and you open your phone and you open the app. Not because you need to, because your nervous system demands proof. Again. Still. Every night.
You've sacrificed a lot for your future self. You said no to things your present self wanted. You delayed. You waited. You told yourself the reward was coming, that there was a version of your life on the other side of the number where you finally got to relax. But the future you keeps moving. Every time you get close, they pick up and walk further away. Because the anxiety doesn't live in your bank account. It lives in you. And it will follow you to every number you ever reach. You have been making payments on a debt that will never be paid off. You have been spending your present life purchasing a future feeling that your nervous system does not know how to cash. The freedom you were saving toward doesn't exist. Not in the account. It never did. Think about what you did today. Not with your money, with your time, with your attention, with the hours between waking up and right now. How much of today were you actually in? How much of it did you spend in the gap between what you have and what you think you need before you're allowed to stop bracing? You built something extraordinary. The discipline, the structure, the safety, it's real. It cost you something real to build it. But you kept building after the foundation was done. You kept pouring concrete into rooms you were supposed to be living in. And now the house is solid. Every wall, every floor, every number exactly where you put it. And you are standing outside of it, checking the locks at 11 o'clock at night. Again.